welcome to Ulsan 1M. I'm Deborah Prentice. As we start off 2015, we also know that the academic school year is around the corner. The standard of quality education in PNG has always been a challenge. Over the years, there has been changes in education curricula, as well as heated debates on outcome-based education, or OBE. It has been widely argued over the past 12 years that OBE has been ineffective, thus crippling students in excelling further. The question is, how much do we know about education curricula? How certain are we that our students are getting quality education? And do we care to know what our children are learning? We take a look at the government's move to kick out outcome-based education after 12 years.
Halfway somewhere here, let's say 50 centimeters. What will be the temperature?
Modern education in PNG was first introduced by early missionaries in the 1880s. The early missionaries were determined to educate locals so they can be literate enough to read the Bible and accept Christianity. From our colonial days till now, our education system has become more established and has gone through different successive changes. Now, what is a curriculum?
Now, curriculum is seen differently by different people. Everyone has got a comment to make about it. But let me correct the perception or help the people to look at what I call a plain folks or layman language so that everyone knows when they're talking about school curriculum. So first, curriculum is about an instruction. And that instruction has to have an assessment part of it. And also, that assessment, there's an issue to do with the grading. All right, there's an issue about trying to compare how good is good. So obviously, it involves a grading.
A curriculum is simply the knowledge that students are to learn. It is a way of organizing content and purpose for teaching and learning. For instance, the outcome-based curriculum and various other curriculums. Over the years, we have faced challenges in terms of accessing education, gaining quality education, and the cost of education, to name a few. The change in education curriculum, for one, has often come under immense scrutiny and opposition.
Let us talk some common sense and resolve the challenges that we have in terms of the OBE education system in the country. 2013, no more than that, and it will be done by an independent team, including the members of the education department.
You see, when they brought outcome-based education, teachers were not trained to cater for outcome-based education curriculum.
We had it. Why did they change it? All they have to do is go to the archives and get what was working.
OBE is a student-centered approach to learning, emphasizing on an individual student's ability to learn and required more teaching and learning materials. This became a huge challenge for many schools in the country. OBE has been heavily criticized over the years and said to be ineffective due to the lack of resources.
I started teaching when we were using a Pacific series, and then went on to the Melanesian series. Then after Melanesian series, we moved to this OBE just recently came in some years ago. And comparing the previous systems and the OBE, the previous systems were, I believe, were better than OBE. OBE probably came in and really, as a teacher, it came in and destroyed many of our students, our young children in Papua New Guinea schools. The main problem with OBE was the introduction of vernacular, because when students start school in elementary prep in top place in vernacular, then as teachers we found it quite difficult in bridging the vernacular to English from grades 3 to 5. And most often we failed, we never succeeded. So that as a result, the students' learning, especially in English language, was quite poor. They could not read and understand English language. And comparing them with our time, with my time grade 10s and grade 12, as a father myself, when I compare my own children, I have two boys, one left school in grade 10, one in grade 12. When I compare my own English with them, I even speak better English than two of them. Even my grade 12 son, I left school in grade 10.
Under the outcome-based education or curriculum, students in elementary to grade 2 were taught in local vernaculars and not in English. And with that came various complaints that students' ability to read and write in English was very poor and general knowledge was low. It so happened that when students reached grade 3, teachers were unable to bridge them with English, thus making learning difficult. Welcome back as we look into school curricula in PNG. Since the introduction of the outcome-based education or OBE in state schools, there has been heated debates that the curriculum has been a total failure. Many say students have failed to fully understand English and general knowledge has been low. Following these allegations, a commission of inquiry was set up to review the outcome-based education in 2013. It was then decided that OBE should be done away with. However, Secretary for Education Dr. Tapos says English has always been the language of instruction.
English is a language of instruction all along. It's not changed. And when we introduce the local vernacular into the school system, that's an example about expectation of the society. In offering school instruction, time over time, society believes that maybe people are losing their culture and their tradition. So during this, early 1990s, say 1991, 1992, it became apparent to our PNG society that our children were losing their culture. And so culture is communicated through language. And hence, from there on, the local vernacular was seen to be part of the school curriculum. It did not replace English. And I think there's a lot of misperception. You go through the literature, English has never been replaced. Never been replaced. English has always been the language of instruction since 1971 up until now. Because of the loss of culture and traditions, in some areas of Papua New Guinea, parts of the school curriculum was said that if you need to use local vernacular to communicate the culture, traditions, and other values, then go use the local vernacular. You learn how to speak English, write English, and become fluent in English over time. And so you don't blame the school instruction, you don't blame the school curriculum like it's OBE problem or it's SBC problem. No. That has been so it is a perception problem.
OBE has been heavily criticized over the years and said to be ineffective due to the lack of resources.
Let us talk some common sense and resolve the challenges that we have in terms of the OBE education system in the country. 2013, no more than that. And it will be done by an independent team, including the members of the education department.
You see, when they brought outcome-based education, teachers were not trained to cater for outcome-based education curriculum.
We had it. Why did they change it? All they have to do is go to the archives, get what was working.
Due to public outrage from teachers, students, parents, academies, and other stakeholders on OBE, In 2013, the National Executive Council established a task force and appointed a panel of experts to investigate issues relating to the implementation of the outcome-based education.
I think many people in Papua New Guinea supported the task force endeavors to investigate the appropriateness of the outcome-based education. When this government came into power, one of the first things that it did was to make sure that the nation get rid of the outcome-based education and replace it with something else which is more beneficial to the people of this country.
Well, for those who disagree with the outcome-based education, it is good news that the Education Department is embarking on improving standards of education through the standards-based curriculum. This year, the Department of Education will be introducing the standards-based education. But the question is, are our teachers and schools ready to implement this curriculum?
In the outcome-based education, the learning is seen as an output. So to say, learning is seen as an output and not an input. That's the difference. So the person who is a guru in that area, the person who thought about a smart idea, Spady in 1994, believed that, why are we comparing each child to another one and trying to grade them? Why are we trying to make sure that every person compete against other when learning is supposed to be an individual? They learn themselves and they become better. So what is the thing that they want to know? And if they know that is the thing they're going to know, they bring it up as a learning outcome comes to the first, and then they allow the teacher to design the curriculum. And that's where we have the problem. In this country, outcome-based education is making a teacher a curriculum developer. It's making a teacher assessor. It's making a teacher an examiner. Can you see what I'm trying to get? Which is anti the what they call the standards-based education curriculum we've had in this country that says curriculum must be nationally prescribed by the government.
We are quite supportive of a change of the curriculum, and we are very supportive of the standard-based education because standard-based education is not new. It's just that we wanted teachers to be very involved.
The plan to introduce and implement the standards-based curriculum may not come in full swing when school starts. According to Mrs. Julia Ulitaya, headmistress of Coronation Primary School, certain factors need to be met first.
No new materials supplied by the Department of Education to the schools. What we have is the old materials, the curriculum that we were used to, and the OBE materials that we were working with. So to change over, it will take some time or some years to actually go over to the next system that they are talking about. But the materials we have at the moment are with the OBE materials.
We will still be using the outcome-based education until such time the new syllabus is ready under the new curriculum, which is standard-based education. Then we will implement it in the schools. But before for that to be taking place, there should be some like those who are trainers or those who have to go around and do some awareness, so conducting service in schools about the standard-based education. Then we will have some ideas about the curriculum, so we will be able to implement it. Last year they talked about all these things, but there's no awareness carried out in school about the standard-based. There is no in-service based on this, so we were just told of it, heard about it, and here we are now, 2015.
State schools will start the 2015 academic year on Monday, but will still be using OBE materials. A lot of teachers have expressed their satisfaction of the removal of OBE. However, they say OBE is good only when adequate resources for students and teachers are made available.
The OBE is, most of it is here, but changing over to SBC or SBE, it's just, to me, it's just talking about it. But basically, the teachers will be still working on the OBE materials which are already existing within the system. So talking about changing over the system from OBE to SBC or SBE will come maybe not very soon, because the teachers will be still working on the materials that's already been produced and within their reach, which is the material that is called OBE. Yeah, so the teachers will be working with the materials there, but maybe the focus will be looking at what it is talked about.
What PNG Teachers Association was emphasizing and continues to emphasize is this. Any major shift in the education system, there must be awareness, there must be community advocacy, there must be training, there must be funding and the resourcing of the learning and teaching materials, so as the funding of teachers' needs, so as the funding of the infrastructure. You get it ready before you bring about the interventions. Okay. Despite what we have been concerned about, we are for the new curriculum, and we will try our best to see how best we can assist the government deliver that important intervention. This is a positive intervention. But like I said, whilst training is beginning now, I would have chosen that the government and Department of Education would have done these things 2 years ago.
For many students out there, the academic year starts on Monday. Education, as we know, is important. It develops a country and improves the standard of living. There are many benefits to acquiring education and going to school. We now take a look at the importance of education and the struggles of accessing education from across the world. Children all around the country in the national education system will commence school on Monday, the 2nd of February. Children in Papua New Guinea are not alone when it comes to challenges in accessing education and going to school. Here is one to remember all children around the world. A photo exhibition launched by SIPA Press, UNESCO, and Viola Transdev, Journeys to School, tells an inspiring story of girls and boys' journey to school. It is not about misery and isolation, but courage and determination. that is all for this week's episode. If you have any stories or comments you would like to share with us, please contact us via the address on your screen or visit our Facebook page. For now, enjoy the rest of your viewing on your #1 station, MTV.